ladies and gentlemen. Well, welcome to It's All Fish and Chips, the podcast. We've got a special episode today because you have a new captain in the chair. We have an empty seat, but not the one you're expecting. Friend Thor is out having wonderful adventures in Las Vegas. He's going to be full of stories and antics for us whenever he gets back.
And hopefully disease.
And hopefully he's going to be full of something.
Yeah. No, he's going to be chock full of it, and we're ready to hear all about it. But how do you like them, Apple? I'm captain today, and we do have an empty seat, but like I said, it's not the one you're thinking of. Thor is out. But we got, to my left, we got Bubby.
And I hope everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, it was a great weekend. And then next to her, or next to him, we got, in my normal
we have
seat,
her.
We have Amanda.
Hi.
Well, it's been a very exciting week. You had a Memorial Day weekend this past weekend. Did you guys do anything fun or exciting or dangerous?
I went shopping for my cruise.
Oh.
For some clothes and stuff, yeah.
Okay.
Did you get any good deals?
I actually was looking for shirts like Thor wears.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've ever seen a picture of Thor on our Facebook page, then you know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The button-up shirts
Oh.
with the very nice, cool designs.
Like a bowling shirt.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought a few of those flower, tropical.
So you were successful in finding the shirts that you needed for your cruise.
Yes.
Awesome. So you're going to be styling the whole time. We're going to get daily updates of Bubby's day wear and night wear, it sounds like.
Maybe.
Okay. Fantastic.
Fun.
Well, it was a good weekend. We went up to St. Louis for Memorial Day weekend. It's kind of turned out that St. Louis is kind of our go-to spot, it turns out. We didn't do that on purpose, but we went up, went to the zoo. We did the arch, took the kids up in the Gateway Arch. Needless to say, my wife was overly worried that the arch was going to somehow come down or somehow she was going to injure her in the trek up in the last, 60 years.
You get to the top and it just like bows in and it's like the double arch.
Yeah, this is the McDonald's Gateway Arch. This isn't the normal.
The 100 years that it's been up, it's never done that.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So
today's the day.
every time that I've been, have you ever been up in the arch, Bubby?
Yes.
Amanda, have you been up in the arch?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, well, if you get the gumption, I think it's worth it. But so I talked to the lady. There's a nice lady up there that's there to answer questions and then keep people moving because it is a timed thing. And I told her, I said, every time I'm up here, I feel like this is moving. Is that real? And she goes, well, it only moves about 9 inches at the very most, and that's in 150 mile an hour winds. And I was like, oh, then I probably have not heard it or seen it or felt it move then.
Probably.
But 9 inches is a lot.
It is
for
a
a
lot.
Building to move.
It is.
I would think.
But I had the sensation, like when you get on a boat or get off, you have like you're moving. I felt like that thing was moving 1.5 feet each direction. I swore by it, but that lady put that to rest. That is not what was happening. But it was a very nice weekend. We did run into some storms. Did you guys have any storms down here as well?
Not in this area. South of us and north of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Branson had some.
Maybe.
Maybe. They may have had some storms.
Might have.
Yeah.
Might not have.
We had tornado warnings and all kinds of stuff around us. Luckily, we were on the 12th floor, and our hotel was oriented.
Lucky.
Right?
Continue. I want to hear how that's lucky.
Well, we were on the 12th floor because my kids always like to be on the top one, but the glass that we had was floor to ceiling, side to side, and our hotel was oriented the exact same way the storms were coming in. So the shelf cloud came right into our hotel room. We were able to watch it.
Right in the room. Right on it.
That does
laid
not
down,
sound
Open
lucky.
the
took a
window.
nap.
Come on in.
Yeah. So,
Tornado just come right on it.
so I will post a picture of this, but I'd like to know anybody out there that would write into us that has any knowledge of hotel decorations. The hotel that we are in, I will share this video with you guys. Outside of every room, it looks like there has been a body killed and drug out into the hallway. Everything is like this tannish red color, but in front of every door, it's like this red smear of color. And it looks like there's been a murder in front of like all 1,000 hotel rooms that are inside this embassy suite.
They're just prepping.
Yes.
It's going to happen. We might as well make them all look
just
the
want to
same.
make it look, so like when it does happen, it just kind of blends in. Everybody can move along with their day. So
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you did a little shopping, but that's not all that Memorial Day has to offer. Did you guys do anything with friends or family, or do any grilling or any?
Did not.
No.
Did not.
That's all right. I didn't either.
I did observe, speaking of hotel, I observed on Friday night on my way home a family already starting to party.
Heck yeah.
They were out in front of the Hampton Inn that is facing 65 going south, Battlefield. And so their truck is backed up to the edge of the grass in the parking lot. And they have the tailgate down, a cooler out, and they're all in their camping chairs around the tailgate, and they're all got drinks and just having a good old time.
Ain't no place happening like a Hampton Inn.
Friday evening rush hour.
Yeah,
that's where they were at, the Hampton.
Nice.
Fantastic. Well, the Hampton is, like I said, a happening place. If you're going to do something somewhere, I think that's the place to get down and do it.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
So, Bubby, are you a pool person? Amanda, are you a pool person?
You mean like
swimming
swim pool?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I am not. I am not a swimming pool person. But my kids, the whole reason that they wanted to go to the hotel was so they could swim, right? That was the whole why we picked the hotel that we went to. So a total of 4 different trips to the hotel swimming pool. We spent close to 6 hours in the swimming pool. For someone that doesn't like swimming, that is a whole lot of pool time.
Yeah.
And
But the kids are happy, so therefore you should be happy.
They are. They were very happy between that and the Gateway Arch and the zoo. I am officially a beat.
I bet.
I did it to myself. I admit that, but I am whooped.
And then had to come back to work.
Yeah. And come right back to work the next day. So
yeah,
that's how it goes.
Well, welcome to having a family.
Right? It's fantastic. So
I worked for the people so others could enjoy their vacation.
well, that was very
That's
nice
right.
of you.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm a very giving person.
Very good person. If anybody has met Amanda, they know that to be true. Bubby, you got anything? Any Parker stories? Anything fun? Developments in
no.
driving or anything?
We have not taken him out driving anymore yet.
They have not let Parker out of his room, and so
weeks.
no stories.
Well, as a holiday weekend, it's probably safe to keep him off the streets this particular weekend.
Well, we tried to get him to go shopping with us part of the early day on Saturday, and he didn't want. He just wanted to lay in the bathtub for
Lay in the bathtub.
for 4 hours.
Like with water?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's
yeah.
good.
So
Interesting.
he stayed home, and we went out, had a nice lunch by ourselves, and then came home, made him get out of the bathtub and get dressed, and rushed him out so we could go to Branson shopping there and have some dinner.
Well, there you go. So have you talked, and I don't remember, correct me if you've said this, have you talked about the cruise and where you're going on the cruise already?
I'm not sure I have. We are leaving on Sunday, going to St. Louis to fly
Heck yeah.
direct to Miami, and then from Miami the next day cruising to Nassau. Mm-hmm. And then from Nassau to the Royal Caribbean private island.
Oh, that'll be
Coco
fun.
Cay.
Yeah.
And then a day at sea, and then back to Miami. So it's like 4 nights.
That'll be fun. You've done a cruise before, huh?
No, first time.
Awesome.
I forgot. Is Parker going?
Yes.
Nice.
It'll be a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun on the cruises that we went to. Now, Nassau was also one of the places that I stopped on my cruise, and I think within 5 minutes of being off the boat, I got offered marijuana and cocaine.
Oh,
So
I've heard that.
look for that.
I've heard about that.
Look out for that.
Yeah.
They weren't pushy about it, but they were definitely very friendly and ready to give it to me if I wanted it. But at 17 years old, I was like, nah, I'm probably good. My mom was like, nah, he's probably good.
Might help Parker. I don't know. I'm thinking about. Might think twice about that.
Well, that'll be a lot of fun. I remember Nassau and cruising out of Miami was really pretty. Like it was a really cool thing. So we saw dolphins as we were going out to sea. They were following along the boat.
Oh, cool.
All the typical Miami things. You saw the palm trees and fancy houses and boats and everything. So hopefully you have a good time.
And what did I see this morning? A report on the news about how they're increasing shark bites.
Oh yeah,
in
they can't jump up on the deck.
the Caribbean. So yeah, I'm like stay away from the ocean.
Yeah. So my wife and I, Cocoa Beach is where we had our honeymoon, right? Mm-hmm. And I think Cocoa Beach down from there is, I can't remember the name of the place, but anyway, we found this little, I don't know what they call it. It's almost like a bay. It's a shallow area that is up from the main ocean where you can kind of swim and wade around and everything. Mm-hmm. Well, come to find out, about a week or two later is when Shark Week came out for that season, for that year.
Oh, yeah.
And they did a special on exactly where we were at and telling us that the exact place that we were at was Sebastian Inlet. And that was where the bull shark pup grounds were. So everywhere that we were at and tramping around were where all the mothers and babies were that were nursing. And it was like the highest, for that time of year, it was the highest probability of like shark encounters and stuff.
Oh,
we
my
were
goodness.
just frolicking through the bed of bull sharks and everything so don't do that. At least you'll be up on the deck. They can't get you there.
Right.
Yeah.
And the private island
They kill all the sharks.
Yeah,
so
they just
they limit
worry about
limit what comes into the bay there. So
yeah. Well, good. You don't have to worry
that's
about that then.
I don't like that.
Let the fish be fish.
there are jellyfish. I've heard reports of jellyfish in it, so stay away from
Get
jellyfish.
you one. You go up there and just grab it. You can get them by the head.
They love you. They just latch onto you.
Right.
They love you.
Yeah, right.
Remember, if you get stung by one, pee on the jellyfish to assert dominance.
I thought you peed on the sting.
That doesn't
No,
sound right.
you don't do
doesn't sound
that.
right.
Oh.
You rub sand all over.
You had somebody else
You
pee
rub
on it.
sand-
You do, because that gets a little
No,
stickers
everybody.
off.
No, Bubby. Everybody that has to
Little
pee pees on the
tentacles.
jellyfish.
Okay. Have
Anyway.
fun with that.
I'm staying
you
away.
enjoy your cruise.
There's
I
a
hope-
pool. I'm going to the pool.
I hope everyone pees on you.
I hope everyone pees on you, and you have no bad encounters with any wildlife while you're there.
Yeah. But if you do, write it down so you can tell us the details.
Take a picture.
Right?
Exactly, picture or it didn't happen.
No proof.
So, Amanda, you been traveling or anything anymore lately? I know you've been out on the road. It seems like quite a bit this year already.
Nope.
No, you're back in.
I've been working for a month straight.
Man,
So,
I know
And
what
you're
you
done
mean.
with that, right?
whole bunch of nothing. Yep.
I know what you mean. We've all been there, but I don't think any of us work as hard as you do during this particular time.
Yeah.
Or maybe even
fun.
any other time of year. We probably don't work as hard as you do. That's probably a fair statement just to say. So, has anybody? I have not reached out to him because I told him I wouldn't. Has anybody talked to Thor, and are they having a good time out there?
I have no idea.
I hope that they never come back. He said that he would, if he won $1 million,
They never come back.
because he said if he won $1 million that he wasn't coming back. So I hope for his sake he won that million and that
Man,
maybe he'll.
it doesn't take much for him not to come back.
No, right.
I don't
Maybe
think I'd
he'll-
abandon my life for $1 million. But
You
Take a
might
little
never
bit
see
more.
my ass again.
Don't
You
get me
know,
wrong. I'd
right.
retire, but
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't stay.
No,
I don't think I'd even quit my job for $1 million.
Oh, I would.
I would.
I would just build a lazy river and maybe just only limit to myself to 40 hours a week. But,
build your own lazy river. That would be
yeah.
awesome.
Right?
All right, I'm going to hold you to that. If you ever win it, you better
You're all
build your own
invited to my lazy river.
Okay.
Yes,
All
I
right.
love
Duly
lazy
noted.
river.
You all heard it from Amanda.
I'll get
live
you
recorded.
like a raft with a bottom so you don't have to actually touch the pool.
Oh, heck,
water,
can I have a
but-
couple of those cup holders in it so I can keep a cold
yeah.
beer? And all right, I'm in.
Yep.
All right, I advocate for you winning the lottery.
Okay.
He doesn't want to win it himself. He just wants you to win it.
No, it'd be too complicated if I won it.
Yeah.
No.
Then you got to share with
You'd
your
have to change his
kids,
whole life.
Yeah, I got to share with my kids. Man, they are needy.
your wife.
5 and 7, they're so needy. No. Has anybody else got any topics? I know that there were a couple of things in the Slack here, Bubby. What was clothes explosion? Am I getting that correct?
Yeah, this is hilarious. So this happened a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3. I've just had it on the list for a while. I had talked before about a guy who had been running up and down the water retention area on South Campbell. Well, the other day I passed by and there's a truck out in the middle of it, and some guys looked like firemen or city utility workers or something, and they had gloves on. And I look around and it just looked like someone's closet had exploded all over that water retention area.
Oh, gosh.
And so I know for a fact that there had been a couple of homeless guys living or inside the water drain under
like
the
culvert
road.
there?
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I don't know if what happened. I don't know if they got just mad or because somebody confronted them or what, but they threw their clothes all over that
It was a bad breakup,
water
wasn't it?
retention. It was. It had to have been. And there was like a
All the
Walmart.
stuff's outside, but I'm going to throw it further outside when we break up.
Right, Walmart shopping cart there, and so yeah, those guys were in the truck just picking up bags full of all these clothes and throwing them in the back of the truck.
Oh, my gosh. So they didn't fall out of the truck.
No, they were just cleaning up the mess.
My goodness.
After whatever happened.
Pull it together, North Side.
No, south side.
South Side.
yeah.
I'm sorry, North Side, that I went ahead and just made that assumption. I apologize, but that's a fair assumption. I'm going to go ahead and make it every time.
It is kind of fair, yeah, but this was south side. We're not immune to not having our own problems. So.
No, that's true, but usually when things like that happen,
It's North Side.
there's a dividing line in Springfield. Well, I hope they got all that cleaned up and got all the people that
I think
were
about
supposed
it
to get
now.
those
Every time I
clothes.
drive by, I think about it. because you just can't. I cannot unsee it.
Yeah.
It's in my head.
Well, I'm going to tell a brief story. I won't get into too many details because this could get somewhat graphic pretty quick. But we were headed to a job out in Cassville. There's a performing arts center that our company is doing, and we're in charge of the AVO for it. So we had a group that went ahead of us, and they had to stop and get something, and we went on. And about 20 minutes outside of Cassville, we round a corner and noticed something in the middle of the street. When we get up closer, we had just come behind a motorcycle, it's a Harley, but it's the Goldwing style with the hard. What am I trying to say?
Fenders.
The saddlebags.
Yeah.
Oh, saddlebags.
And a gentleman, a 73-year-old man, not wearing a helmet, hit a deer on his motorcycle at 60 miles an hour.
Wow.
And we were the second person on the scene. I think he's okay. Everything that I have been able to find says that he is okay. But this is a PSA out there. Please wear your helmets, because I do not want to roll up on another one of those. Luckily, that guy was okay.
Yeah. Could have been worse.
We were able to help out, but it was not a wonderful scenario. But that was something that happened to me this last week. Luckily, like I said, everything's okay. But definitely something I was not expecting, nor do I necessarily want to come across again. But
was not on your bingo card, was it?
But I was glad we were able to help. So. Wild thing.
This was many years ago. Lived in Ozark, and me and our next door neighbors were riding with them down to Branson to go to a show or something. Me and my wife, and when you first go down the hills where it starts getting mountainous on 65, there was a RV that we passed, and in the rearview mirror, I could see, because I was sitting in the back seat, and I saw in the mirror that RV just started swerving back and forth, and it actually flipped over.
No way.
And rolled into the side of the road, and just was destroyed. And so we turn around, go back, and help pull people out of this RV. Yeah. And luckily, everyone was okay.
How many people were in the RV?
There were probably 4 or 5, plus a baby in a baby seat, strapped in a baby seat. And the baby was just fine.
Wow.
So could have been worse, but it was hard to watch.
Yeah.
It was hard to see.
Yeah, I bet. You feel like it's almost like a mixed feeling. Like you're glad you're there to help. But
right.
We're not. We're not medical people. This isn't something that we're used to seeing. My mom or some of these people that have been doing this 20, 30 years, it would be like, oh, and they would hop into action. Like me and you aren't used to encountering that sort of thing. So definitely takes a minute.
Yeah.
So when we pull up to this motorcycle accident, there's one lady that has been there before me, and she's tending to this person. Well, she sees me and she comes running, and all she says is, "He's got a dent in his head." I was like, "Oh no!" Well, I was like, "Oh, let's not start with that while we're talking to him."
Yeah.
I was like, "I'm clearly the more calm one here," so I kind of took the lead. But yeah, it's imperative that you keep calm during situations.
Yeah.
So. Well, good, man.
Well, 65 traveling. I mean, you're always seeing stuff. You never know what you're seeing. I've seen 2 or 3 different wrecks like that. But
that's the robot vacuum cleaner doing something. That's what it sounds like.
When you're traveling, pay attention, wear a helmet, all the good stuff.
Look out for the deer.
Yeah, look out for the deer.
Yeah.
Because I hit a deer in my Mustang when I had a Mustang once. Or I should say, it hit me.
Yeah. What did that do to your Mustang?
It bent the front end up. I had to have the bumper replaced, and it was still a little bit drivable, but
this is the silver one, right? You only had the one Mustang, right?
Yeah. Well, I've had
being a soft top.
I've had 2 that were identical, but it was newer.
Just different plates.
I didn't know that.
Just for when he was doing his illegal things, he had the other one.
You had to have.
They were just. One was
like
the 80s. One was the 80s model. Later, my other one was a 90s model.
Oh.
Or 2000.
Those are 2000s.
I like my story about
the silver one that you just...
Yeah. That was 2000.
Well, what's going on in your world, Amanda? Anything fun? You got any shows coming up that you're outside of work that you're involved in or anything? Okay.
Nope. I got a whole bunch of nothing.
We're just glad
she's on vacation.
She is on vacation.
I'm not on vacation.
No. It is a short week, though, so it's very hard for me to get motivated to do much.
3 days work.
Yeah.
Well, we have 3 days because we take Friday off.
Oh. See,
so now I have 2 days left.
See, me and another person at work advocated for that. We should have taken at least one more day.
Right.
what's one more day, right?
Take Friday
We're already-
off. Yeah.
So we're in a meeting today, and my brother, our boss,
Right.
is like, well, we've only got 4 days this week, so you better get to it to get 5 days worth of work done. And I learned to another person, I was like, did I tell him or you tell him? That's not how that shit works. Like, you'll be lucky to get the 4 out of me that I'm working.
He's been part of the company for a long time. I know he doesn't know how that
Right.
works.
I'm pretty sure he has a C tattooed in the middle of his right there. Company man. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think your brother has a tattoo at all.
No, he does not. I would like to give him one, but he wouldn't be able to be awake for that.
I don't have a tattoo and never will. At least sober.
All right, so that means that if we get Bubby drunk enough, we might
Right?
be able to get him a tattoo. Bet.
And challenge it.
And challenge accepted.
You should just have something picked out in your mind now so that you don't totally
Oh,
regret
no,
it.
we're going to make you pick it while you're inebriated.
Okay.
I have a friend.
You can make poor decisions.
I have a really good friend who grew up. I mean, we were childhood friends, and he grew up to be a tattoo artist. And he, last time, when he visited me right after becoming a tattoo artist, he said he wanted to give me a tattoo.
Yeah.
And knowing that I work on sound consoles and stuff, he wanted to give me a fader on my arm, just a fader
Kind of cool.
with the numbers and all that.
But Bubby doesn't get tattoos.
No,
Even a free one
no,
of something you love.
no.
All right. I'm just testing the waters. I'm seeing how warm everything.
He's worried that he won't be able to be buried in a Jewish cemetery.
Is that a thing?
I can make that happen too.
Is that a
Bubby.
thing?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'll make some phone calls. I'll get that arranged as well.
Am I supposed to be worried about that?
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out.
I'm more worried I'll get stung by a jellyfish.
They hate tattoos. If you get a tattoo before you go, jellyfish will stay away. I have a tattoo and I've never been stung by a jellyfish, so it tracks.
Me
Science.
either.
Science.
I have a tattoo and I've never been stung by a jellyfish. Have you been stung by a jellyfish? Because you're about.
I haven't
to be.
had the opportunity.
You're about to be.
We'll find out.
I think that's how it
You're
works.
going to test our theory.
All right. Sounds like a
We're
challenge.
going to need to know. So when do you leave on this cruise?
Sunday.
Oh, like real quick. Okay, we're going to need to know whether or not you
I
come in
will not
contact
be here next week.
with a jellyfish. Okay. Well, if you guys don't have anything, I'm going to bring up a picture that I posted. I don't know if you were able to read it because Thor wasn't able to, but I was driving in Springfield the other day, and there is a black Tahoe that I would say the letters have fallen off, but I think this is 100% intentional because this looks, you know how like when letters on a car come off, you can still see the shadow of the letters that were there
Yeah.
from the glue or whatever. These are polished clean. And this Tahoe has the first 2 letters removed, and it just says Ho on it. And I'm going to imagine that since it looks intentional, that probably tracks. That person.
Are you saying H-O or H-O-E?
H-O-E.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to say that if that person was offended or if that was a joke by someone else played on this person, that she probably would have fixed it. But I feel like that person in that car probably embraces that particular signage of her car. I could be wrong.
Maybe it's just the car that's a hoe.
Maybe the car's a hoe.
Maybe it's like this Tahoe is a hoe.
See, that's why I bring it up because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my perspective is completely wrong, right?
I don't know.
But I have to imagine that person might be a hoe.
I mean, if you drive a Tahoe, you're paying a lot for gas right now. So
pay-
maybe that
That's
car
no
needs
joke.
to be a hoe.
Maybe that's how she's affording that.
Right?
All right.
She's
You
just
paid a lot-
advertising.
You
Yeah,
paid a
put
lot of
the
money
pieces
for that
together.
Tahoe.
You pay.
Not necessarily. Maybe.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know how old it is. Right now, they might. I don't know. They're expensive.
Yes, they are. All of them.
This car's a hoe.
Used, new, it's all expensive.
That's true.
That's like the.
Thor's got a couple things posted here, but I'm not going to touch on them because I don't
No.
know what they mean.
That's like the.
He could have called in. He could have told us.
Yeah, he could have. But
He's drunk and laying on the floor of the casino.
I hope so. Right? That's what you want. That's the picture
Well,
that I have in
wait.
my mind.
Or he's like laying out by the pool and just like burnt to a crisp.
And so we know that Thor does not drink
He drinks
or that
lots.
often. Well, shots, but not often.
You just put some buttery nipples in front of him. He'll just
Give
start
him a few
going.
buttery nipples.
Wait, what?
And he's ready to drink.
Right.
Are we talking about the drink?
I mean, it's Vegas. I don't know.
He did enjoy those quite a bit. Those were not bad.
He says he loves buttery nipples. I didn't ask for details, so maybe he just hasn't left the hotel room enjoying buttery nipples. I don't know. Someone else should talk.
Buttery
Just gonna
nipples
keep
all-
going.
no, I'm
I
just
love
gonna
saying
continue.
buttery
Keep going
nipples. Oh, speaking of buttery nipples.
Yes. Tell us.
A friend of mine saw a T-shirt at the place that we work, and it just said, "Nipples make me happy."
I can't disagree with that.
And it made me laugh so much. I was like, "That's pretty great."
That's amazing. Actually.
Right?
That is fantastic.
He's not wrong.
So speaking of T-shirts, I was talking to a gentleman the other day. I had acoustic treatment put in my office, and I had a cork board up there, and I had a bunch.
Fancy.
It
You
had a
fancy.
bunch of. I know, right?
Right?
It's like so much quieter in there now. So
I'm just like, I had acoustic treatment put in my office.
my office.
You have an office?
I had
Oh,
someone
yeah.
else do it.
I've got my own space. But I had a dry erase board and a cork board in there, and neither of them at this point really served a purpose, right? Because one of them had my Dante certification, if you know what that is. It's a quick online certification. The other one it was a 15-minute like IT awareness thing. So I took my cork board into one of the guys. I was like, "Hey, do you need this?" All it had was my certificates and my 15-minute
Dante.
like sign off basically. Because you need to get that put on a shirt, 15-minute certified. Because I had the 5 crossed out, had the 10 crossed out, and just put 15 minutes certified, and just not explain that to anybody.
Yeah. That's pretty great.
We have lots of ideas for T-shirts.
Right? It's the greatest thing. I don't know about you. I love T-shirts. I love a good T-shirt.
I've got a lot of them. Most of them are black.
Most of them are black. Well, that's
You know,
That's function.
The great thing about the world today is there's websites where you can design your own T-shirt, and then you can they'll print that T-shirt for you, like one. You just have to print one T-shirt for like less than $15.
what?
And you can leave it public on these sites, and if someone else sees your shirt and is like, "I like that," then you make money
No way.
off of someone else.
I'm
What?
gonna have
Yeah.
to look into that.
Yeah, I've done it
Get
with
another
a couple of
side
shirts.
hustle going on.
Right?
How much you make?
I made $1.
$1.
I made $1 for the one I like printed myself, and then $1 for someone else printing one.
Well, that's exciting.
I know, right?
Huh.
But it's
didn't know that was
easy,
a thing.
like an easy way to get a T-shirt made. Because if you like try to go to a company
Uh-huh.
like outside in the world, then they're like, you need to do like 15 or whatever. There's like a minimum order, you know.
So what we need to do is make an all fish and chips T-shirt.
I think that's what
Yeah.
we're saying.
Have other
That's
people
exactly
buy?
what we're saying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Right in.
anybody that's listens can go and buy one, and we'll get $1.
Right
Right?
in. If you would be
Straight-
interested in that,
straight
let
into
us
the-
know.
Right.
What's
We're gonna turn
the
this into an enterprise?
What's the
Yeah.
email? What's the plug? Email?
It's allfishandchips@gmail.com.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. It's All Fish and Chips on Facebook.
I was waiting.
That's
for
all that we really care about, I think,
Yeah.
up to this point.
Yep.
I think that's kind of where we stopped caring.
Kind of true.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's exciting. Maybe we'll have to look into see that. So Scott Lloyd at work got a blanket with like 10 different pictures of Thor on it made
For himself.
himself. That
What?
keeps in his office, so when people come in
Oh.
and sit on his chair, they're sitting on Thor's face.
That's funny.
Thor gets all the love. That's all I'm saying. Thor gets
Hey.
all the love across the board.
And all the butter.
Does he have
And
a
all the buttery nipples he can handle.
Does he have a coffee cup with his face on it?
No, he has a coffee cup. Wait,
With my face
with
on
your
it,
face
bro.
on it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, yeah. That's how that worked.
Aw, the world loves Thor,
It's
and
true.
Thor loves Bubby.
It's true to say Thor does not love the world. Thor loves select few, but the world does love Thor. Mm-hmm. It's hard not to. I was going to talk about something, and then I completely lost what it was. But that being said, I think this is episode 45. I didn't say that out loud, but
I believe it is 45.
we are really trucking along. I can't believe it. Are we not? Is that not
I
right?
have no idea.
Well, he says episode 44 and says a couple things. And, then
Was the
there's-
last
Nice.
one, yeah.
and I think we're on episode 45. So
How
go
exciting.
us. We are continuing this this train, whether you like it or not.
And did anyone figure out when our anniversary is?
Oh, I don't.
Or
think
1
we
year?
did.
No.
No
No,
one
we'll have
looked?
to go back and look. But I know we're coming up close on it. Because 52 weeks would be a year, right? And then we've 45. We've missed him 1 or 2, so we got to be close.
Well, we didn't. We
Well,
didn't
you
do. We didn't do one a week for a while.
Yeah.
That's right.
I don't know.
Look at Bubby reining me in there.
So it's going to be, yeah.
But yeah, I think we're on episode 45. Have we had any emails or anything
No.
lately?
No.
Well,
Nobody
feel free to
loves
write us or join the Patreon. Again, we'll get you.
I get a lot of
Mad Lib or
comments in public.
Picture sent out.
public comments.
You get a lot of public comments. Any recent ones that are pertinent to things we've talked about?
No.
Well, that's good.
I mean, clearly the people want more of me, but
Yeah. Well, no. That's
I only have so much
absolutely-
I can give.
I'm
So.
gonna start taking excerpts of you just talking from random and just start putting them into the podcast, so we've got more content from Amanda.
I know.
Can we
It's
get
not
her-
kind of the
Sense,
worst
but-
sometimes.
Can we get her on one of the buttons there saying buttery nipple?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
we can
we'll
do
record that before
Yeah,
we leave.
That's easily done. I think I won't.
You can just push that randomly whenever you want. Buttery nipple.
You guys got anything exciting coming up on the next weekend? You're doing your cruise, Bubby, and you're going to be gone for a week, right?
Right.
So whenever your event wraps up, do you have anything planned to kind of relax and unwind a little bit?
My event has wrapped, and so
Sorry, I don't follow the schedule as much as I used to.
It's fine.
You're like, you don't know anything about my life.
Don't know anything about it. I mean, I also don't share anything about my life.
Well, that's true too.
but no, not really.
That's
Just
good.
keeping on working.
Just going to relax a little bit.
Yeah, I might have some work trips.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, those usually feel like vacations.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
The St. Louis trip was, I think, are going to be our big trip for the year. I think we're going to end up doing a lot of camping and fishing and stuff down at the lake.
Nice.
It's cheap. We go with another family. I
Yeah.
think it's $12.50 for a campsite if you split it between two people. So
Nice.
I think I can probably swing that a few times this summer.
Yeah.
Do a little fishing, a little swimming, a little floating.
Do you have a camper?
No, I do not. We tent camp, but we've got my wife is so she came from.
Do you like to pitch a tent?
You know what? There's too many kids around. But yes, yeah. No.
Send the kids off to fish.
Send the
Pitch a
kids off to
tent.
fish.
They
pitch
come
a
back.
tent. We're setting up camp. Go away.
Go play with fire.
So my wife was a trailer camper. She grew up, it was, like not the fifth wheel, but the trailer camper trailer. And I
Yeah.
grew up on the tent side of it. So we don't have money for a camper. So she has taken the amenities that she can, blow up mattresses and all the good stuff. So I think
Yeah.
we've actually got it down pretty good with the kids. We get those little. Have you ever seen? They're like I think it's called cooperite or copperite. It's basically a copper sulfide that you throw into the fire, and it gives like an hour, and it was like glows like blue and red and orange. It makes the fire do different colors.
Oh,
and
nice.
Stuff like
That's
that.
fun.
So we try to get a bunch of stuff like that to make it a little more homey than just
Yeah.
rustic out in the woods covered in cicada camping.
Yeah.
Rubbing two sticks together.
They're so
Around the
loud
fire.
this year.
Okay,
I haven't heard them at all. Man.
you haven't.
Nope. Not at all yet.
They are, and I'm not exaggerating in this, they are 3 or 4 times worse in St. Louis than they are down here. You're driving down the highway, I probably hit hundreds of them.
Wow.
Like if you look at the highway when you're driving, you just see them rolling on the ground from hitting
Wow.
cars. We went to a Denny's and I walked outside and looked at a tree, and there was probably 200 or 300 of them. I've
Wow.
never seen cicadas so thick in my entire life.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I am so glad to be home. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think they are the world's like freakiest little insect. Not
Yeah.
much weirds me out, snakes, spiders, but for some reason cicadas freak me out with their loud noise, and
I don't know why they have
They're
to make that
unpredictable.
noise.
I don't know, they're unpredictable and I don't like it.
Yeah. I think they have no idea what they're doing in the world.
Yeah.
They're just like hatched into the world and make this horrible noise. Probably just them screaming like, what am I supposed to do?
It's like the cave crickets.
Yeah.
So I was terrified of those growing up. We had them all
Mm-hmm.
over our house. I ran into them at AT&T. Well, I read an article and turns out the reason they jump at you is because they're too stupid to not. Like they're just trying to get away from you, but
Oh,
they're too
yeah.
dumb to know which direction they're going in. So they always come towards you, which makes it just that much freakier. But
Nice.
apparently they're harmless. They just
Yeah.
They
They're
just
just too
look
dumb to know.
terrifying.
They're here to feed the birds.
They're
Yeah,
the
right.
weirdest looking little things.
Oh, one of his routines just came on because lights just started coming on in the house. He's got routines set. Up.
I just saw your face and I was like, I'm not looking. I just wait for him to say what it is.
Just waiting for that 1920s music to play, like
Right.
Thor was talking about. I'm out of here. I gotta go.
I know. I'm surprised you didn't like booby trap the house and make it do stuff like
Some little doll in a tricycle comes around the
Right.
corner. Oh, I got.
that. That's scary.
Yeah. So
He's probably just on the phone going, "Hey Google, turn on the lights."
right, he's just in here just messing with us. It would not surprise me one bit. He's been out in Vegas. He's bored of whatever he's figured out. You know, he's done all the things he wants to do. And now he's just here messing with us.
Yeah.
He knows we're here.
This right now.
Right?
Yeah.
I hope so.
He's burnt to a crisp. He can't do anything.
Yeah,
He's
right.
just laying there.
He's just laying there. It's like a big old piece of bacon.
Sipping on a buttery nipples.
That is entertaining.
It's so fun.
It's a new thing for the bingo card.
It is a new thing for the bingo card. We
I'll
should
forget
add that.
about it. I'll forget about it before
Buttery
next
nipple.
week.
I'm going to add it. I can't spell. How about buttery nipple?
Right beside the malort.
All right,
that's-
it's added. We'll remember. We'll know what that means.
Nice.
So you covered your clothes explosion and your Memorial Weekend tailgating.
That's all I am.
Yeah, I don't have a ton other than, like I said, the St. Louis trip. We ran into some, man, St. Louis is a colorful place. You know, someone that comes from the Midwest that, you know, Springfield is one of the biggest towns that I've been around more in my life than anything. St. Louis is a much different experience than what I am used to. We were leaving our hotel and we were headed to the Arch, and we drove under an overpass and we heard this loud pow. Sounded just like like a pistol going off. Right. My wife clenches up, grabs me, and I kind of keep watching the road. My son, what was that? I was like, oh, buddy, I think it was a firework. You know,
Yeah.
trying to play it off. Didn't want to scare him or anything. It's like, well, why are people shooting off fireworks in the city limits? And I was like, I don't know, buddy, stupid, right? You know? About that time, I hear pop, pop, and I'm like, oh no, my wife is freaking out.
Yeah.
Right? And so she locks the door, even though we're on the highway. So the gangsters are gonna come up on us. I don't know, like
Jump in 70 miles an hour.
right, the go-go gadget legs. They're
Right.
coming forward. And so we're going down the road a little bit further, and I hear pop, 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 pop. And I look ahead of us, and there is a rice burner that has the exhaust that when you let
nice.
off,
Yep.
backfires.
Yep.
But going underneath that bridge, I swear to you,
Yeah.
it echoed and sounded just like a
That'd be so
gunshot.
loud.
It took me like 10 minutes for me to gain my composure back, because I didn't know what I was going to do. But if there's gunshots,
Right.
I was going to do something. My wife was white as a sheet over there, and I asked her, I was like, so do you have a little bit of a, taking your breath away? She's like, yeah, it's still a little bit there. Kind of comes back to life on me. But
Yeah. That's not fun. I don't really like St. Louis that much.
it's got some cool stuff, but
Yeah.
like there's a lot of places I don't.
Yeah.
We were going to the Arch, and the GPS was like, now take this to downtown St. Louis, and I was like, everything
thanks.
has ever told me said to stay away from downtown.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should do this. The GPS is going to take me into some.
I'm going to make the turns I want to take, and you just let me know where to go from there. Yeah, there's sometimes when I get in certain areas and Google's like, go this way, and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to keep going this way. You can figure that out. Recalculate.
There's stop signs that I don't think I'm going to obey.
Right?
I'm going to go right on through that.
Yeah.
I remember doing that going through. What's the real bad area? They say East St. Louis.
East.
Yeah.
Went through there one time, and I think there was a couple. Always with someone that was familiar with it, but I'm pretty sure there was a
Yeah.
couple stop signs they just rolled right through because
Yeah.
they knew
Don't
more than I
stop.
did. Yeah. Oh.
Keep on going.
Have you ever taken the kids to City Museum?
So that is the one thing that we haven't done.
You have to do it.
I know.
It's so much fun.
We spent so much money this weekend.
I bet.
Didn't expect. But the City Museum is the one thing on my list that I haven't done. We've done the Arch, we've done the zoo, we've done the Magic House, we've done the Science Center. The Science Center was lackluster. I was not impressed, like I was when I was a kid. But
Right.
But the City Museum, is definitely one that we want to do, and I can't wait because I think I'm gonna really like it.
Oh, you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for adults as much
Yeah.
as it is kids.
I've heard it's basically just a giant indoor jungle gym.
It is.
In a sense,
Just
Like,
just
crawl on anything.
12 floors full of
It
Yeah.
sounds
fun.
right up my alley. And my
Yeah.
5 and 7-year-old, I'll probably lose them.
Yes, you will.
pay the extra and go up on the roof.
Okay.
It's even more. You have to pay extra, but it's cool.
Of course, you got to pay extra.
Of course.
You got to pay extra for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to the Arch, which was free, right? Yeah, it's not free.
No.
'Cause you got to get souvenirs, and we went up in the capsules.
Oh,
and
yeah.
$100.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
my wife, so I've been up there a couple times, like I said. My wife and my kids hadn't. I think it's one of those things that we live close to St. Louis, and we're like, we're by it all the time. But I think if you're there, I think going up in the Arch is something everybody should do once. If that's your thing.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things you're like, I did that.
Yeah.
I've done
Take-
it 3
take
times now. I
pictures.
don't know that I'll ever do it again.
Take pictures so you can go back and look at it
Exactly.
later.
Exactly. But I think as a kid, being able to see Busch Stadium was the coolest thing for me. Like going up there and seeing the city, being able to see the whole stadium, I think was
The new one?
at the time. The new one, yes, but at the time it was the old one. When
Yeah.
the first time I went, I was young.
I've been to the game at the old one, but not the new one yet.
Have you? There's something iconic about Busch Stadium. It's one of those things like Wrigley Field or Lambeau or I'm trying to think. There's one of those iconic places in sports that I think Fenway Park. You know, just that I would go to a lot of those just to say, yeah, I've been to some of these iconic places.
We usually go quite often to Kansas City more than St. Louis, and there's so much to do in Kansas City too. And Parker has a endocrinologist, which is like a specialist for stomach.
That's where he gets his endo.
And we go up there quite often to see her and just try to make a weekend of it. Maybe stay at a hotel and
see the doctor for the weekend.
Yeah,
hang out.
Go. Yeah.
So my wife and I had this conversation. We don't know why we picked St. Louis. It just kind of happened, right? We have a friend up there, so we've gone up there. What is there to do in Kansas City like there is St. Louis? Like I know there's not obviously a national park like the Gateway, but like what other big type things to do is in Kansas City?
There's the amusement park. I'm trying to
Worlds of Fun.
Worlds of Fun
Yeah.
and Oceans of Fun.
Yeah.
There's museums. There's shopping centers. There's a lot of great food, especially barbecue.
That's where the hill's at, right? In Kansas City.
That's St. Louis.
St.
Is
Louis.
it? I get those. I can't remember.
Yeah, that's St. Louis, which is really good too.
I've actually never been there.
If you go down to the Riverwalk, there's a bunch of cool restaurants down there. One of our favorite steak places in St. Louis is Jake's Steaks.
Okay.
It's right there on the river.
Well, the reason I ask is like I said, we don't know why we picked St. Louis, but we talked about Kansas City maybe just because it's another close one. But I was like, I don't know what there is to do in Kansas City. I'm sure there's a bunch. But I just never. Like I've been to the Plaza during Christmas time. That's really cool.
Yep.
I've been to both stadiums, Kauffman and Arrowhead.
There's there's a couple of hotels. There's a Coco K type indoor water park. We took Parker to when he was smaller, and then there's Wolf
Lodge.
Great Wolf Lodge indoor water park. That's really cool. He loved that.
There was supposed to be one of those in Branson, wasn't there? Weren't they gonna build
I think so.
or a version or like
I think so. It hasn't. I haven't done anything.
They haven't built it yet.
No. Not. That's Branson. We're gonna do a really cool thing. Maybe not yet. Probably never.
Yeah.
Other than what's already established.
It has 2 Chick-fil-A's and a Cheddar's now.
Right. That's all you need in life.
Right? I don't know.
All right.
They have a good zoo.
That was
They have
the
a good
other
zoo
thing.
too. I mean, you have to pay for it, but it's good.
Yeah. That was the other
like-
thing. I've never been to the Kansas City and Tulsa Zoo. I would like to do.
Yeah.
St. Louis Zoo is free.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's free to get in.
Yeah. As Tyler.
That is true.
Found that out.
It's true to
But
get in.
we're very familiar with the St. Louis. We go up there a lot, but we really like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it does cost, but man. So I'm going to have this conversation. What's your favorite animal when you go to the zoo, Bubby?
Oh, well, it's got to be the otters.
You like the otters, dude? Otters are pretty good.
Dude,
Like
otters are the
cute.
They're
best.
fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can guess Amanda's. Polar bear.
I do love a polar bear.
Okay, right?
They're really fun. Oh, let me tell you a polar bear story.
Okay.
Okay, so I have gone to Memphis a few times for work. And when I go somewhere for work, and if I have like a day, like I usually choose like a museum or like a zoo or something, because it's like a fairly cheap price usually, and you kind of can spend a lot of time there. And so I went to the zoo in Memphis, and they had pandas, which you don't see at a lot of zoos. So that was really
don't
cool.
see
But they also had a cool polar bear exhibit. And I was hanging out there watching the polar bear, and I was like, what is the polar bear doing? And I was like, he's destroying like the weather stripping on his like windows and like pulling off metal bits and like would go and like take it somewhere. And then finally I was like, what am I supposed to do about this polar bear? Like he's like
I'm
destroying
going to get an up close encounter.
right? And I was the only one in there. And then finally, like someone with a radio comes in. I was like, I don't know if you're aware, but you're a polar bear. That metal thing that used to be here in this window is over there.
It's not.
He has pulled it off.
He's like destroying his enclosure. And he's like, he gets bored. And like called over the radio and got someone else to say, okay, bye. I'm going to go see what else is here. But
Go away from the polar bear.
But I think just like, I can't imagine like, one, he had to have gotten that far with it, like to get it off in a day. Because they would notice, right?
Sure.
If it's like just
You think they do
dangling off or
inspections daily
something.
or-
Right.
Yeah.
They feed them and
So I was
stuff,
there,
so,
like, it was before lunch. And I was like, it is impressive. And I get that, like, I don't know, because we don't encounter them every day. I forget how, like, strong and, like,
Right?
smart, really, like, animals can be sometimes. And I was like,
big.
he has, like, worked, even if it's all morning, he has successfully ripped a metal piece and the weather stripping out of this window.
Yeah, and how many pieces away is he from just going and pushing
Exactly.
it? You know, like
Right?
pushing the window out.
Or like
all
the
these snacks are
or
just
the water
walking
just like
around out
dripping
here.
or something, right?
oh my gosh.
But I like that it's just like he's bored.
Yeah.
He's bored.
He does that often.
So the polar
He
bear is
probably
my
picks
wife's
at things sometimes, but
Yeah, the polar bear is my wife's favorite as well.
Yeah, they're
it
pretty
was
cool.
It was not there this time. It didn't come out. But last time we went, it was he was out and doing cool stuff, so it was okay.
well, and I don't know if the same bear is still at the Kansas City Zoo, but there was a polar bear at the Kansas City Zoo that was famous for like going up to the top of one of the rocks and diving into the pool, and would like do it when like a big crowd got together and be like, hey, and like cheering for him, and he would just like do this really impressive dive and be like, I did it.
See that? I'd stand there and watch that.
Right?
My favorite is the red panda.
Yeah,
I
those are really cute.
Absolutely love red panda because there's videos online of them like standing up on their hind legs and eating grapes, and I want to feed one a grape so bad. But I looked up, I was like, are red pandas friendly? And they're like, no, they're fairly antisocial and fairly independent. And I'm like, that's
makes
not.
sense.
I'm still gonna grab one. Like
Right.
I still don't care what you think.
Have you seen the videos of them getting scared?
No.
Like, you should Google that, because apparently
Okay.
they also spook pretty easy. And so someone like, they won't notice someone and like a zookeeper or something, and then they'll turn around and there's a zookeeper, and they are so dramatic. Like their hands go up and they like flop over backwards. It's so
They
cute.
are the cutest animal in the world. It's like a cat dog fox mix.
Yeah.
And they are just adorable.
They are
Anyway,
adorable.
That's my soft spot, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
I love red pandas.
Yeah.
My wife knows it. My kids know it.
They're so cute.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely love
My wife's favorite is penguins.
Those are fun
She
too.
loves penguins.
it. That's my brother's wife's favorite.
I do enjoy
They
that.
smell so bad.
Yeah, I do enjoy that penguins are not great at walking on ice. Like that is what
Right?
all they do, and they are not very
So
good at
clumsy.
it.
So I don't know if you guys have been to the St. Louis Zoo to the penguin enclosure, right? But you basically
We
you
have.
can walk in and you can be right next to him, right?
Yeah.
So there is one of them. Oddly enough, it's just floating on its stomach. It's got its head down and it's just bobbing, right? And it comes right up to the glass. So sorry, I'm out of my microphone. I lean up and I'm just looking at it, and this guy's like, "Sir, you need to lean back. They can jump and bite." And I'm like, okay. I'm like literally 3 inches closer than I was
Right.
to start with. I'm like, first of all, this thing doesn't look like it's about to just lurch at my jugular, and I think I can probably react to a penguin fast enough.
Right.
It's not gonna get me. But I was like, where's the line? Like, I'm this close, that's too close. You can't be within 12 inches, but you can be within 13. Like,
Yeah.
who is this guy? Like,
Weird. Also, you're like, he's just kind of floating there. Are
Yeah.
you sure he's alive?
he hasn't moved yet. So I don't think he's gonna just bust to life here in a second.
When you say lurch, that's probably
Right.
still slow.
Exactly.
Got to kind of roll over and push yourself up somehow.
So, kind of your story kind of reminded me of this. A couple of years ago, we had passes to Wonders of Wildlife, right? Wonders of Wildlife, if you don't know, for us, is we're lucky to have one of the nation's best aquariums right here in Springfield. And we go in, and there is in the main part of it, not when you first walk in, but in the main part, there's a big, like, floor to ceiling, like, curved glass aquarium that goes multiple stories and everything. And my wife and I walk over, and they have a Goliath grouper in there. If you don't know what a Goliath grouper is, it's just a giant fish. I mean, look it up. But it is just sitting there, is lethargic, and has not moved in, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. Because we're waiting the kids to go to the bathroom, so we're hanging out in this area for a little bit, just watching this thing. And pretty soon, a person with a radio, like you said, comes up, and I'm like, "Hey, I think something might be wrong with your fish." And they're like, "No, he does that a lot. He's just resting or whatever it was." I'm like, Okay. So about 2 minutes later, we see someone come out of the back with like what looks to be a fish gurney and kind of shuffle off to the back. And within like 5 minutes, that fish is gone. I'm like, yeah, just resting, huh?
Well, what are they going to say? Yeah, he's totally dead.
Yeah, I think we brought attention to something that they were not expecting that day. And he was in the bottom of that tank. I don't know how you go about fishing that thing out. But
Yeah.
somebody dragged that 300-pound fish back to the surface and did whatever they do to a grouper that's not so good. So,
They went to the fish hospital.
yes, he went to the great ocean in the sky.
They
Big
gave
old
him mouth to mouth.
That job doesn't pay enough. I don't know what that job pays, but that don't pay enough. That is for sure.
Have you watched any of the? I don't know if you guys have Disney Plus. But have you,
Yeah.
Have you watched any of the like Animal Kingdom series about the animals?
No.
Is that the one where they do like the up close and like watch that what the ant does for the like the real?
No,
almost like
this
the
is
Bug's Life?
this is where they go to the park and you see like the vet team and stuff that takes care of the animals, and you get to know some of the animals. It's really good.
No,
I
I've
love
not
it.
seen that one.
It's I don't remember. It's something Animal Kingdom, whatever. It's a series.
I'll have to look that.
I
my
love it
kids
so
that
much.
stuff.
They will love that.
Because they watch the real life. It's like a bug.
Oh,
life.
yeah. Mhm.
Dude, that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm a
that's
giant
awesome.
nerd, but I will
Yeah.
definitely look that one up.
Those are fun. I love all of that stuff.
Bubby, you got anything else? We're getting pretty
We
close
don't.
to it. I think for a 3-man crew, I think we've covered a lot of broad
Yeah.
topics today.
Sure.
But
Bubby,
sure,
it's not
yeah,
a-
he's
Yeah.
along for the
Sure.
ride. Yeah,
We've
no,
had a great time.
he's great with anything that we've done. Well, if you like us or don't like us, feel free to write in. It's allfishandchips@gmail.com. Check us out on Facebook. It's All Fish and Chips. Our Patreon is help me out.
I don't know.
Just go to Patreon.
In the show
and
notes.
look for-
It's all- yeah, it's in the
all
show
in
notes.
the show notes.
Yeah.
Thor's gonna get that taken care of for us.
You should email us and let me know how many times I said buttery nipple.
Oh, Buttery Nipple. If you can give us an accurate count, we'll go back. No, we'll get you something. Sign up for the Patreon. That helps us out a little bit. Helps us get new gear. Maybe at some point, if we get enough dollars, we'll get you a Mad Lib or a picture drawn or some kind of something from a bracelet made. Yeah, we'll get you some kind of something. But
Buttery nipple.
Whoa. Don't promise. What?
anyway, for this episode, I'm Tyler.
Bubby.
Amanda.
And just remember, whatever you got going on in your life, it's all fish and chips.